Hey people, this is Talem Splash, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age. So in the last part, I'm trying to remember like what we were doing, because I honestly just started recording without thinking here. I think we had to press the switch. We might have done this before? I don't think we did. Yeah, so Vaughn's gonna press the switch, and he's like, oh, guess it's not working. Let's have a look. The fuse is blown. That would explain why there's no power reaching the switch. If the wiring is any indication, I'd say this is a central power relay of some sort. As it stands, I doubt we'll find much still running down here. Alright, well that sucks. So, what we have to do, it's actually really simple. You just head on over down here, and you go talk to this guy. His name is Burrow. Because he burrows down into these tunnels, you know. Don't get many visitors down here. You come for scavenging for odds and ends, have you? Oh, the way out is just back up those stairs. To smithereens, you say? Then there's nothing left for us to find some other way through these tunnels. You'll need to get the power working again before that gate'll budge, though. The fuse in that contraption is blown, but this ought to fix it up. So yeah, he just gives you the tube fuse you need. Made that tube fuse from the parts I found down in these very tunnels. It's as good as any you'll find, and better than most, mark my words. So now we just go on and take this back up, and we should be able to turn on the lights now. So let's go on and get ahead and do that. I don't know what I'm saying, man. I'm tired. It's been a long day. Forgive me. Today is Tuesday. I'm recording this the night before I have to throw this video out on YouTube. So, yeah, the new raid for FF14 just came out today, and I had a raid from like 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. or from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. But we ended up going till like 10:30 p.m. Trying to learn Omega 1 Savage, which is like the first of the raid. Anyway, we press the switch here, and we press it, and that'll open up the gate right there. And voila, there we go. I see you got the gate open. Ought to be able to look for all manner of ways out now. While the lights are on, the passage ain't so bad. But let the charge drop and some fierce beasts start coming out in the dark. Opening this gate probably took the charge down some. That gauge ought to show you how much charge is left. About 30% to operate something the size of these gates, I'd say. Who knows how many more of those gates they got down here. You look for those switchboards, you ought to be able to make your way. Alright, cool, thank you, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, so he also has a shop. So I'm gonna quickly sell the stuff that we found during our travels the past couple episodes, because we actually haven't been to a shop since we were in Rabanester. So all the stuff we got, we can just sell, and we have a lot of gil now. Don't sell your teleport stones though. That's something you want to save. All right, so what can I buy? I can buy a cypress pole, or is it cypress or cypress? I think it's cypress. I always say cypress. We'll get that for Vaughn. Go ahead and put that on. We should have enough to get everybody something. Wait, I forget what, like, I've been playing my other file so much, I don't even remember what jobs Balthier and Fran are. So they're, alright, so Balthier's a time mage, Fran's a white mage. I rolled on these, I remember. Okay, so how are their licenses doing? Because do they have enough to, like, even, so I know what I can get them comfortably? Alright, so he has a crossbow there. I mean, alright, I think Balthier is fine. Honestly, I'm gonna go unlock that heavy armor, and maybe I'll unlock this accessory down here. We have to get that anyway for the diamond armlet, and we'll go. All right, we can't go any further, so we'll leave that for both here. For Fran, you're a white mage, and you don't even have a rod, so we'll get you one of those. I also want to unlock your mystic armors, and I also should probably get you. Let's see, what other. Battle Wars, I don't really care too much. I'll get you a gambit slot, because you're gonna need them. Like, you're a healer, so you're gonna actually need the gambit slots. So, all right, let's go go back into the shop here and see what we can get for them. All right, so a bow gun. Oh, Balthier already has one. I think one dropped or something, maybe. Fran has her. We don't have a rod, but I'll get it for her because it's better than her bow. It'll deal about the same damage, but it's also better for healing. And for Vaughn, I just got him that thing, so let's go into headguard stuff. Yeah, I know. I'll get that for. Alright, that's the same. I'm just gonna get the bronze armor for Balthier. And you're gonna see me doing this a lot, by the way, like sort of sifting through the new armor that they release. is something that you kind of have to do like every time you come to like a brand new area with a new shop, because there's always upgrades available. Alright, I feel like Vaughn can wear something too, but I don't have the license for it. Oh yeah, what I just did by accident, if you are talking and you press the triangle key, you can actually have a log, and you can go back up and see the previous text that in case you like passed it by too quickly or something. But only like if it's a dialogue that's like longer than like a couple things, if it's longer than like a couple text entries that you have to press X multiple times. Oh crap, okay, maybe I shouldn't have gone for that right away. Let's get that. And can you unlock this? You can. Awesome. Alright, we're good. I didn't mean to unlock that next pole thing, because honestly that's like Vaughn is set for weapons for quite a while now. Alright, so let me talk to you again, and alright, you already have a head guard. We don't have a leather breastplate, so I'm gonna get that for Vaughn. And I think now we should all be set. Wait, what's that? Headgear. Okay, we have a head guard, so it doesn't matter. Argyle armlet is immune to blind. I'm not too worried. I'll pick up one if I have the money, but I do want to get a bangle. And then I also want to get. We have enough ammunition. Echo Orbs. I'll get a couple of those just so we have like. I'd like to have 10 of each thing, and then. Alright, so spells is going to be important, and gambits I will buy later. I don't care about gambits right now. Alright, so let's get slow, let's get blindna, and let's get let's just get everything, because honestly spells are important, and I want to have them. They save money in the long run, because that way you don't have to buy items all the time. And I have enough money to buy the Argyle armlet, so I'm going to buy one of those too. I won't equip it yet. Alright, there we go. Actually, I think that would be really good to equip on both here, assuming he's not wearing anything else. Yeah, alright, you can have that. You have the Orache armlet, and Vaughn, I can give you the Orache armlet. Actually, I don't think you can cast any magic anyway, so maybe I could give you the Goddess's Magicite. I don't know, I don't really care too much. So we'll just keep it the way we have it now. So anyway, I think we're ready now to go and delve into the passage. I know it took a little bit of preparation just to, like, you know, get our party together, but now we're ready to go, so let's go ahead and dive in.
Hey, who turned out the lights? One of those?
I've heard of these. Mimics. They disguise themselves as all manner of things, then strike when you're least wary. Some of them have a fondness for energy, I'm told. They gorge themselves on the stuff till there's naught left.
So, what happens then?
Lights out, and it's worse in the dark. Much worse. So, let them get too close to one of those conduits, and they'll suck it dry. But don't worry, it'll give the energy back if you ask nicely. Sticking it with a sword helps too. Clock's ticking.
That's true. Although Balthier says the clock's ticking, it's really not. Honestly, it's really good to let the power drain, because then you actually get to fight these undead enemies, which give really good drops. And I will be doing that. I don't know if it's going to be this video. Like, I'm kind of playing this video by ear. I don't know how far I'm going to get. I have a plan, but honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit it, because I was debating if I can get to like the halfway point of this dungeon in this video, or if I should just go ahead and do the whole thing, just to save time. Yeah. Because like whatever I don't record tonight, I'm gonna have to do tomorrow, because I only have one video. I gotta make sure I have enough all the way up until Saturday. So there's like this one for tomorrow. I mean, it's nothing you have to worry about. The videos will go up. So yeah, I don't even know why I bother to talk about it as I'm recording, because it's not like you care how I like schedule my plans. But I don't know, for me it's like all I think about sometimes, like, all right, when am I gonna have time to record this, because I need to have time, because this video has to go up. And when honestly, like, it doesn't necessarily have to. But you know, I don't want to fall into another like accidental yet really long hiatus like I did with you know, 15, and pretty much like a lot of my series have that, and I don't want that to happen to 12. 12 matters too much to me. I got some tea for this episode today too. It's I don't know if I was drinking it in a previous episode or not. I know I was drinking tea, but it might not have been this one. I'll just leave that. I'll just leave that mimic. We're gonna kill this one instead. Yeah, I bought some new tea at Mariano's the other day, and it's actually really expensive. It was like $6 for the box of tea. But then I was thinking about it, like, all right, $6 is pricey, but like, if you go to Starbucks, you spend like $3 for one cup of tea. So $6 for like 10 cups of tea is pretty worth it, actually. And it was good tea. Like, it's this certain, I forget the name of the brand. It seems pretty good. It's like a bedtime relaxation tea that I've been getting. And I'm trying to do that every night now, is have that kind of tea just to, like, wind down. Honestly, recording's a nice way to wind down, too. Initially, like, the reason why I used to not do it is I thought, oh, you know, it's going to stress me out. But in a way, it's now like becoming something I look forward to right before I go to bed, at least for FF12, because it's like, I don't know, I don't have to worry, I don't have to, like, stress out about this game, I can just play it. Whereas, like, if I was playing something like, I don't know, there's other games that, like, I have to give a lot more thought into how I structure the videos, because I don't know what's coming a lot of the times. Like, 15 is kind of like that, because the problem with Final Fantasy 15 is that sometimes I can feel like I won't get any progress in a certain video, unless I, like, have something to do. Otherwise, you just sort of end up wandering the open world doing nothing, and it just feels kind of like, I don't know, characterless in that sense. But for this game, that doesn't have that problem, because you're always progressing in like a very linear yet open way. And I don't know, I think 15 could take some lessons from this game. As much as I love 15, I think it's a great game. Well, I think it's a good game. This is a great game. 15 is a good game, and I still think it's worth playing. Like, everyone who's like a fan of this game, they should probably go check out Final Fantasy 15, because it's got a lot of the DNA of this game in that game. Same thing with 14. 14 is also a great game. I was talking about this like maybe like 2 episodes ago. I feel like, I don't know, I can never keep track of what I already have spoken about and what I haven't yet. But 15 is new, so it does happen to be the topic of conversation a lot of the time. Which is totally fine. I think it's cool. Noctis is an awesome protagonist. I'm happy about that. Better than this guy, that's for sure. Even though Vaughn, let's, like, honestly, Vaughn's not the protagonist. He's the window character. And, you know, we'll get to the main protagonist. Balthier is one of them. At least in my mind, like one of 3. I would call Basch one of the other 3. And Fran is important too, but she's like very comfortably in like a supporting character role. But the thing is, like, the game doesn't, like, the game doesn't lie about Fran and say she's the main character. Although I think when this game came out, they were, like, trying to preach that this game had, like, an ensemble cast. But more than anything, it has, like, an ensemble trio of characters, and then the rest is, like, an ensemble supporting cast of Vaughn, Fran, and Penelo. And that's fine, too. I love all 3 of them. It's just like the way that this game sort of organizes itself. It's really weird. Each character has their own chapter, though, and I think that's kind of nice. A chapter, and not like a literal chapter, but like its own chapter in that kind of sense, where they each have each character has their time to shine, and I like that a lot. I wish more games sort of did that, if they're gonna have like an ensemble cast. Or anyway, you know, I don't know. It's a weird thing to think about, but. You know, I think this game's story is really unique in that regard, and I kind of wish there's more games like it. More games that sort of have that sense of charm, and have that sort of sense of ensemble, like Final Fantasy VI-esque, but not totally Final Fantasy VI. I don't know. I think it's cool. But anyway, yeah, so earlier today, Omega came out, that new raid in 14, and I mean, honestly, I'd played it before because the normal mode version came out 2 weeks ago, but now the Savage mode came out. And for those of you who don't play 14, when a Savage version of the raid comes out, it's like way harder, and that's like the real raid that people look forward to. The normal mode is mostly just done for people who want to like play through the story and experience the story without, you know, struggling to beat like the toughest super bosses that exist at that time in the game. And I think actually it just got cleared. There's 4 fights per raid tier, and right now we just got Omega Delta Scape, which is the most recent one, and it was so cool. It's all Final Fantasy V influenced, and it's such a good raid tier in my opinion. I liked Alexander for the most part, but this raid feels a little bit more epic, and much in the way that Coil felt epic, and I'm happy about that. Coil was the raid for A Realm Reborn, and Alexander was the raid for Heavensward. And Heavensward's raid was awesome, but Alexander's my favorite summon, but the raid was super, like, not what I expected of Alexander to be. Because I was sort of thinking, like, Alexander would be like how it was portrayed in Final Fantasy IX. Oh, there's that rod I just bought in a treasure chest. That's great. Oh, well. But it was a lot more steampunk and sort of, like, silly in a way. And it was nice. It's just not the Alexander I was expecting, personally. But I still like it. But yeah, this new Omega raid is so good, especially because it's like it has a heavy link into the main story, and not only that, but it's got a good story of its own. Like it's really colorful. Like Final Fantasy V influenced it. Like you can't go wrong with Final Fantasy V. It's got like Final Fantasy V is one of the most underrated stories in this game series. I think it's really good personally. I know NCS has been Let's playing Final Fantasy V, the 4-job Fiesta. I have to look into what that is because I'm not totally sure. I think it's because I haven't really watched anything beyond the first part, and he said like, oh, you know, you'll understand it as you watch through. But if like any of you like kind of know what a 4-job Fiesta is, go ahead and explain it to me because it seems cool, and I think it's something that can only be done in 5. Because as far as I know, can Fran fire? All right, Fran can cast fire. Because as far as I know, all the other ones. Like Final Fantasy 3, any other job system, you can't really do the 4-job Fiesta with, unless you can, and I just don't know about that. In which case, that's cool too. There we go. I'm just having there's lots of flans in this area, so I'm just gonna have Fran cast fire for a bit until we get through this zone here. How are we doing on time? We're only 17 minutes in. You know what? I don't know. We'll see. We might. It's possible we can I don't know. Should we get through this whole dungeon? Let's get through this whole dungeon in this video. We'll make it a nice long one. See, the problem is I don't want to get through the whole dungeon. I'll get to the last save point before the boss because I do want to do some gil farming in this dungeon, and once we fight the boss, we won't be able to come back here for quite a while. So I think it's better if you know, we go to the last save point, and then off screen I can go do that gil farming for a bit, and it'll also give us some good experience too. Not that we need it because we're already level 13 to 15, and usually, like, the nice thing about doing Duster early on is that usually I like to get to the point I am now in the Barheim Passage. Like, I like to get to 13 to 15 or so, but now I don't necessarily have to do it, but I still want to do it for the gil, because there's lots of good gil to be made here while we are here, and honestly we could wait until a later part in the game, but I don't know, it's sort of something I've always done. Oh, by the way, remember how I said I had a story about the Barheim Passage? I do have a story about the Barheim Passage. When I played this game when it first came out, like way back in 2006, the vanilla version, I would start a new game, and every time I started, I would play up to this point, and it took me like, you know, maybe like 4 or 5 hours to do, and then I would always get stuck. Like, not even at the boss fight. Like, I would like just die fighting like the trash mobs in here because like they would just murder me. And like now thinking back, like this is so easy. I don't know like what I struggled with. But then again, like back when I played, I wasn't level 13. I was probably coming in here as like level 4, and not really understanding the license board system. And back then it was the lesser good one too. It was the full license board instead of the job. There was no job system back then. Ooh, a pointy hat. Balthier, can you equip that? No, you're a heavy armor kind of guy, but Fran, you can. There you go. Enjoy your new hat, Fran. Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't see you wear it. But yeah, like these mimics here would just like wreck me, and I would just die all the time. And I remember the first time I had finally gotten through this area without dying, I was shaking holding the controller because it was such a big moment that I was like, oh my god, I'm not dying, because I spent time grinding in the Garum Site waterway, and I was like, I'm actually gonna live, and I was shaking. And I remember my cousins being there, my cousin Esed and my cousin Janan, and I don't think my younger cousin Malik was born yet, but my brother Jesse was there too, but they were all like, Esed and Jesse were both probably, they had to have been like only 2 years old or something, and I was like 2 or 3 years old, and I was let's see, I was 7 when they were born. Where's that treasure chest? Okay, yeah. I was 7 when they were born, so if they were 2, I would have been 9. It had to be later than that because, okay, I had to be like 12. Maybe they were a little bit older. I don't have the date exactly correct, but you get the idea. I was young, they were younger, they were there. I was supposed to be like watching over them while, you know, my relatives were off doing stuff. You hear a loud gate, a loud sound, a loud gate is open. Yes, alright, sorry, I butchered that reading. Because I'm talking about my story. And yeah, so I got through the Barheim Passage and I was shaking, holding the controller, just like unable to believe that I was finally able to do it. And that was after me like starting a new game and getting to the Barheim Passage and getting stuck and getting game overs constantly for a good like 3 months of owning this game, or more maybe. Like I said, I don't have the dates exactly spot on, but I was like, it was a long time for me as a kid. And I was like, holy crap. And eventually I would get stuck at a later point in the game too, because, you know, I was bad at this game back then. Oh, we got bombs now. Let's steal from them. But yeah, like, it was such a cool moment when I was finally able to do it. And I don't know, it's something that it's fun to like relive now. Just going through this dungeon. Whenever I play through it again, I always think of that time. Oh, Fran, you're casting fire on them. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize, because we're done with the flans now, so we can just take this back to attack. There you go. I know Fran's a white mage, but she comes innately with fire as long as we own the fire spell, which is why I bought it earlier, because I knew that I wanted Fran to use it for the flans. So that's another thing, like, I didn't have that foresight playing FF12 as a kid, and I didn't think to grind at all. I didn't do any hunts. Like, I didn't do like the Thextera hunt. I didn't like I did like exactly the bare minimum to progress with the story, and that's not how this game works really. It like, you kind of have to like explore and push yourself. And yeah, it was just a cool moment to finally get through the Barheim Passage and like get to the next cutscene. It felt so gratifying. And guess what? We're about to get to that next cutscene right now. So enjoy, guys. This is a good one. You're gonna like it.
Mist seethes.
It reeks. Something's close. Nice moves there, Captain.
You mean traitor?
So they say. But I didn't see him kill anyone.
My brother did.
Rex. He said he had a brother 2 years younger. I see. He meant you. Your brother. What became of...
He's dead.
I'm sorry.
It was you who killed him.
I give you my word. That was not the way of it.
Rex, sir. My name's Rex. All I have left, sir. He's 2 years younger than I. Living in
Time, Basch. Save the discussion for later.
But if we arrive after he signed the treaty...
Sir, we have little time. You must go to
As I
King.
feared. They're slowing us
home,
down.
Captain Ozilis is and for my parents. Captain, why? Our king, have you done?
His Majesty was a traitor.
A twin brother. Fancy that. But still, the pieces fit, I'll give you that much. And he did look like you.
I don't believe you.
Of course not. It was my fault that Rex was there. I am sorry.
My brother, he trusted you. He trusted you and he lost everything. How can I believe you?
Not me, then. Believe in your brother. He was a fine soldier. He fought to the last to protect his homeland. No. Surely he fought to protect his brother.
You don't know anything!
Believe what you want to. Whatever it takes to make you happy. What's done is done.
Alright, so that's that cutscene, and when I first saw that, I was so happy just to finally done it, and get to the save point. And you know what? We're at a nice half-hour mark, so I think I will end it off in this video. I know I said I was going to do the whole thing, but this is such a good stopping point. And in the next part, what I'll do is I'll just be a little bit more inclusive of what I show, of how I like to farm for Gil and stuff. So I can show that on screen, and then I can do a little bit of it, and maybe cut if it gets a little bit tedious, and then I'll continue, and then we'll finish up the Barheim Passage in the next video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it a lot. It was a good time. I had fun, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.